It's so good that I didn't read any of the directions to use it. Stop getting hot and trying to burn me. This is why God invented blue jeans. Ugh. But right now I want to vibe with the Italians. You can see the curve of the fender. What's up, people? I am here all by myself tonight, which means the camera is on a tripod, and we're gonna go first person and walk around it. But long story short, I am working on building the wire form buck for the King Zero. And actually, it's really rewarding and fun. However, there's a couple things I've learned from doing this right now. One, for those of you following this build, if you look in the back on the paper, I had to do a new drawing of this. And there's a reason for this. Oh goodness. Okay, hold on. I'm just gonna run over here and get something. So the drawing I had was a projection of a drawing I found off the internet. And the problem is with all of this. So first of all, what on earth am I doing with building this King Zero V12 Supercar? My zaniness knows no bounds, and I couldn't contain it anymore. And Avalon King ceramic coating is being very nice, and somehow they've gotten along for this ride, and I'm just being a lunatic building a car. I think that explains it all. However, measuring and doing long story short, I'm just doing this artist style and winging it and designing it in my head, and it's awesome. And I have a feeling the original prototype car, which inspired this crazy venture, this adventure I'm doing here, which is shown here when it was in orange. You can see the original prototype. And then I liked it way back when it was also painted silver. I want to find a really cool picture here for you guys. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is the one I got to show you in a second. So anyway, it's a really cool prototype. And it inspired me, and I wanted to build a car that would be what I would consider a production version to be after this. So inspired by it, but my own take, and I wanted to stay true to the Italian art and design that was Marcello Gandini's, I would say, a masterpiece. And just be inspired by that and move on. So being an artist myself, I appreciate the art that they did, and I want mine to be influenced by that art and style. Now what's interesting is this drawing here is what I found off the internet, and I originally blew up to just kind of get the vibe, right? However, if you look at it, you can't even see it on this one, but I think there was Russian writing on this. Squiggly lines that I don't understand. I'm sorry, I'm an American. I don't get to travel that much. I'm not wealthy. It looked Russian to me. Anyway, but then I found this drawing later, okay, and you're like, oh, they're exactly the same. They're not. The problem is, if you look at this top drawing here, okay? If you look at the width, the height of this window versus that window, they're not the same, right? And if you look at this kind of curves down right here, and this line curves up, right? Now, if we look at this one, which is more close and looks like a drawing projection of a picture of it, the height of this window and the height of this window are the same. And then this line curves drastically here and is like really sharp and smooth. And then this line is also sharp and smooth, which is more correct to the original. So the problem was, I was vibing on doing my own art continuation of this, which I was mistakenly vibing off a Russian guy's knockoff drawing of the original one. So the problem was I was one too far removed from the Italian art, which wasn't good. And then some guy in here that said, oh yeah, you don't want to do the Russian and be communist. And I'm like, well, don't worry about the jokes that got made there. But let's just say, I appreciate everybody's culture, but right now I want to vibe with the Italians. So I made a projection of this drawing, which gets me a lot closer. Now, here's what I've learned. Okay, let me just get the camera and show you guys. Here we go. We're gonna run around like lunatics, hooray. All right, so you can see, let me move this malarkey out of the way. You can see the wire frame, okay, here it is. You can see the curve of the fender that I'm doing. You can see the opening of the rear here, right? You see that right there? Which is not, okay, now keep in mind this and this and this and this. This is all support stuff. Don't worry about this. The edge that I want you guys to see is right here, and then the curve that goes across. That's gonna be the edge of this. And if we look down here, you can see the edge of the car, the edging of where it's gonna be, and we can kind of flow down for you guys to see this right here. and how this is, I am creating it, right? Okay, and then this structure out for the nose, and then I am gonna do something similar to the original, where the lights will be inside there with an LED type light bar. And then you can see the wire form as it goes down and all the curves. Also, this thing's really wide. It's not quite crazy Imps of Corvette wide, but it is darn near, it's definitely Diablo wide. And that's pretty wide. So I did a new drawing, and I thought I would show you how it is that I'm creating this right now. So let me put this thing back on a tripod here and show you. So the biggest thing that I've learned now and about this is, okay, there's my metal roll. Sorry guys, I don't have a camera person. And for all you trolls that are like, well, Casey, you need to have better production and value and blah, blah, blah. And I'll be like, that's cool, man. You pay the money and send out a camera crew and I'll do that. Okay, that looks pretty good. So we're gonna do this, you guys. Okay, so got my Miller welder here. It's the Multimatic 220. It's both MIG and TIG, and it's awesome. And I'm really digging it. It's so good that I didn't read any of the directions to use it, and it's working perfectly, okay? I mean, that's amazing. So that's good. Anyway, so I've got my ground clamped on here, and I'm MIGging this. I'm using 024 wire, which is pretty thin with a gas bottle, so it's really clean. And this is 1/4 inch steel, cold rolled steel, which I can like bend over my leg if I need, or I can put it through the roller and get a subtle curve. And I can put it up on the drawing and like change it or do it right and figure out the detail. So here, top of the wheel well, and I'm doing the details kind of on the side of the car where there's this relief. It sort of goes in. And you can see right here, this rod will be the edge, kind of the leading edge of where the window is, but I also have to do the top part, which if you guys can see over here, I already started to make, which leans inward. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna put my gloves on because I've come up with a technique to do all this malarkey myself. I got this power tool, which was given to me by a doctor friend of mine. It might have been too loud for his wife, I don't know. Or he upgraded, thank you Scott, either way. So I'm using that to cut it. I was going over there to use this sheet metal string, boom, and cut it, but this, I can just go here and cut it with my finger, and with the gloves on, it's just fine. So this is how simple it is to make this. I need to find a piece of straight metal. Give me some straight metal. Okay, here we go, watch this. So here's how I'm gonna do it. So I want it to be the same as that side. So I am literally just gonna go like this, and I've been using my, that finger finding Z-axis height gauge right here. If you guys remember, I made this thing. I'll show it to you. See this right here? Hooray, it goes up and down. And I can find points and I can make it equal on both sides, assuming that the floor in here is relatively level. So now I gotta cut this thing right at the edge of my gloved fingertip. So here's what I'm gonna do, here we go. Don't die. Yes. So literally, I just cut this out, same length as that over there. Now, I need to weld this right straight above that. And I'm gonna look over to the other side and kind of parallel. It leans forward that much. And it leans inward. I'm gonna go look at it. I wanna see how far on the tire it leans inward. Slightly past the inside rib. So, I know this seems really rudimentary and boring, but here's how I'm gonna do it. Hold that there. Lean it forward the correct amount. Put my head over here. And I could do this differently, but honestly, I'm just winging it because I feel like it, it's late, and what I learned is you kind of just have to go for it. And just use good practice and give it the best shot you can, because you know what? The original prototype was not perfect or perfectly symmetrical, and it was gorgeous. And this is gonna be gorgeous. You just have to do a good job. It's a hand-formed car, and I was starting to get bogged down by trying to make the art perfect and like replicate things here and there. And I'm just like, you know, I'm in the zone. I'm building my own car here. Go with it. So basically I was overthinking it. It was kind of like the first time I raced motorcycles in Mid-Ohio. And I was in practice and I was just riding terribly. It was just stupid. And I was mad at myself because 2 weeks before that, I just raced a Formula Atlantic car, which was rocking fast around the track. And now I'm on this motorcycle racing and I suck and I'm slow. And I'm like, what is wrong with me? So I go out and practice, or not, the practice is over, and I walk out to turn one just to watch other people riding their motorcycles. And I thought to myself, you know, I know how to race, and I know how to ride a motorcycle. So just shut up, stop thinking, and do it. And I did it. And actually that ended up being the national championship weekend, and I got first the first day and second the second day, which is good enough to win the vintage national championship on the bike. So it's pretty cool. I guess it worked. So it's kind of the same thing with building a car. So I'm just gonna look over to the other side. The human eye is really good at finding parallel lines as well as perpendicular lines. So I just gotta get that parallel on that plane. I'm gonna look back here, see if that comes in about the spot I want. I'm gonna go over here. I know you guys can't see me, but I don't have a camera person. It's just the way it is, it's late. So I spent all day making phone calls and emails and trying to make the future better. Look at that, it's perfect. Okay, try to make the future better. And then I end up having to work late so I can actually get cool work done. You know, manual labor. All right. So I'm gonna go over there and cut 2 more pieces for here and here. Okay, so here we go. So I'm just eyeballing how long I want this to be. I got my safety glass on. So I'm gonna cut this real quick. Here we go. Come on. Stop getting hot and trying to burn me. All right, so that's cool. That's good. Now do the top. Yep, here we go. Nice. All right, so here I come back over. Let me make sure I got the right pieces for the right ones. Okay, that's that one. And that's that one. Okay, cool. Okay, so same kind of thing. I'm gonna weld these on, show you guys. It's a lot of fun. And I just love how this welder is working. It's just plugged into 110, so you can use it at home or in your garage. And it's got gas instead of a shielded gas, a flux core wire, which I don't like. It's messy. I don't like mess. Ugh. Okay, here we go. Lean forward about yay much. Get my finger out of the way so horrible things don't happen. Okay, so I'm just gonna do 1 tack, and while it's hot, I'm gonna look over so I can bend it and get it parallel to the other one. Awesome, now I'm gonna go to the back and make sure it's got the same lean going on. Nope, it's leaning in too far, so I gotta bend it outward. So it'll still bend. Okay, now it doesn't want to bend as well because it's cooling down, and it's welded metal, which is really hot, so it's sort of brittle right there. You can't really get away with that much, so you got to keep that in mind. That's why I just barely tacked it. Okay, one more look. Yeah, okay. I know you guys are bored. I want a camera person. You suck, Casey. Tripods are lame. Unsubscribe. Relax, guys. Relax. Okay, here we go. Whew. Yes. Weld some more. Uh-oh. Something strange has happened and Casey doesn't like it. Oh God, everything's going badly. Man, are we really doing this? Should have just built a monster truck instead of this fancy Italian malarkey. The other thing, when you do this, it'll move. Like that's moving right now toward me. So you got to keep that in mind, all the heat and how it warps stuff. Okay, this will be fine. I'm just gonna go for it. Okay. Yep. Anyway, guys, this is the reasons why I just like welding and fabricating with metal so much, because I can make something quickly and effectively. It's really strong. The last piece I'll make, and I think I'm gonna save it for next time, is bending this right over to here. Maybe we'll make it right now. Let's do it. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna take this and I'm gonna use my leg. And this is why God invented blue jeans. Ugh. This is why my wife gets mad at me for ruining my clothes. Yeah, that's right. Okay, here we go. Oh, see, how about that? A little much. Yes, I have a roller literally right there, but this works just fine. Okay, let's see how that is. That'd be great. I could just go ahead and short the battery terminals over here, which I'm really close to doing right now. Great, do that, Casey. That's smart, you idiot. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna cut this real quick. All right. Hooray! Okay, so what I'll do is I'll weld that on there, but I gotta get this, I gotta bend it more. I'm gonna use my tire here. Tires are great to bend metal on. They don't care, you drive on them. Okay, this is cool, it's getting there. Yeah, well, this might work. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna weld. First I'm gonna jam this in something and try to bend it better. Okay, I'm gonna weld that there, which should allow me to hoss this around. I'm all about hossing. Okay, here we go. One moment. Okay, there. So what I'm gonna do now, I want this to be doubled up because I want the edge of my wheel well to be strong. So I'm gonna get those guys together. Plus the heat will help it sort of bend into its own, which is welcomed right now. All right, I'm bringing in a little more. Well, they're right there. I know that's kind of flattening it out a little bit, but I can come back to it. Good enough. Also, keep in mind, you guys, I am doing this on a video right now to show you, so I'm doing it sort of quick, so you guys don't get bored. Way ahead of you, Casey. I'm already bored. Out! Okay, here we go. I'm gonna grind this off here. Cut it off. Cool. Hopefully I didn't cut that too short. Here we go. Boom, look at that. So I'll come back to it, but I'm gonna move the welder out of the way. And you guys can see here, the sort of the top of the wheel well. And then that area right there is they put a mirror in this little triangle because there'll be a window here. I don't think it's gonna be usable worth a darn. So I'll probably just paint that black so it doesn't reflect and then put some other kind of mirror or a camera there. But anyway, guys, that was what I wanted to show you here today. But I was gonna read you something, just gonna share something. See you next time.